Well, I think, it's a complicated project. I think we're on a clock. There's no question. The flood event happened just over 3 months ago. And so, when you look at, and the old Gardner Road was a one-lane dirt road from 1879 that was impassable 3 days after the flood to traffic because it was so saturated. And to have, 4 miles, 2-laned, and basically, when we started that early July, so 2.5 months in, and they've made tremendous progress. Now our target's October 15th. Right now we're waiting for about a mile of guardrail to show up. For folks that understand the Gold Gardner Road, there was about a 12 to 15% grade coming down here into Mammoth, and we chose to cut a new alignment that was a 5% grade, which we're working on right now. That'll do a couple things. One is we won't have to have people coming down a 12 to 15% grade in the winter. Number two, that's one of the busiest entrances in the park, and we'll be using this for years. And so, dropping 2,000 to 3,000 cars a day into the back of the hotel probably wasn't the smartest thing. So we're building a new alignment to connect with the road that's on a much better grade. But for people that are familiar with road building, there's a lot of engineering that goes into it. We want it to be safe. They've made tremendous progress in a very short amount of time. I feel like the 15th is still doable. We've always said we'll continue to do work after the 15th, but we want to make sure it's safe. That guardrail needs to show up. We need to make sure that when we put people on it, it's as in good a condition as possible, especially considering some of the conditions that we get here in the park. And so we'll see how the next couple weeks go. The Northeast Entrance Road, I'm very pleased. I was just out there. They've 2-laned already 2 of the major sections and rip-wrapped them. The third section is coming along great, and I'm very confident that we'll be in that range for all 3 of those major sections to be paved, reconstructed, paved in and around October 15th as well.
I heard from some of the local folks down in Gardner that paving was supposed to start this week. Were you able to get going? The weather hasn't been fabulous.
Well, we're putting about 8 inches, or the contractor's putting about 8 inches of sub-base on the road. And once that sub-base is on the road, then we'll start the actual paving process. So we actually probably, there's a lot to paving. It's not just, especially on roads that haven't been paved before. And we've made a lot of cuts into this area here, or into this road corridor, and we need to make sure that we've got the right stabilizing material and everything is on the sub-base ready to go before we actually put asphalt down. So what you'll see here in this next couple weeks is them continuing to finish this cut coming in here to Mammoth, and them starting to put that 8 inches of sub-base on before they start laying asphalt. We've also asked them to go back and start widening some of the curves. I know there was a lot of questions people had about length restrictions and weight restrictions. Our intention is not to have either of those on the old Gardner Road. And so there's a lot of cleanup work that's going to occur even after we open it. But I think people need to recognize where we were just over 3 months ago, and the fact that we're on the precipice of having a 2-lane new road built in such a short amount of time, I think is a real positive thing, and I attribute that completely to the team here, the contractors, Federal Highways. It's something we obviously couldn't have done by ourselves, and I'm really pleased with the progress right now.
That's good. Yeah, I was going to ask about limits on the road, because last week when I was down at the school, the superintendent told me the whole story about getting a new bus, a shorter bus to take up there.
Yeah, I think as we've moved through this, we've figured out where the tightest areas of the road are, really focused on those to try to get those widened so we don't have to deal with length and weight restrictions. And once again, we're going to be using this road for years. And so I think it would be a bad thing to have multiple years of no buses and no long trailers and that kind of thing. So I feel good that the road will be unrestricted once we get it completed here this fall.
Okay. I know folks in Cook City, I was out there Monday, and folks there are really optimistic. They're looking forward to the winter, hoping for snow. I understand you met with some of them on Friday?
Yeah, I've been out there a lot. It's a great community. Just like all the Gateway communities, we've had a lot of conversations throughout this entire summer. We talk to them regularly anyway, but it's obviously been a lot more this year. Gardner and Silvergate and Cook City, obviously the most impacted. We've done our best to give as much access as possible, considering those corridors are closed. But when I look at the repairs and the work that Oftedal's done out there in that northeast corridor, it's pretty incredible. And one of the Oftedal folks the other day said that those 3 sections will be about 100 times stronger than they were pre-flood. Yeah, so they've done a really good job. I feel very confident those fixes, we're calling them temporary. The reality is when you see them, they're far from temporary, and no question they will withstand another flood event in the future in those certain sections. I think what we'll need to focus on is in the areas where we didn't have damage or roads blown out, what kind of actions do we want to take over the long term to make those stronger so we don't have a similar event in other sections of that northeast road.
That was the next thing I wanted to talk about. I know that you've had surveyors out and you're looking at what you can do in the future, both here and out east of the Lamar there. When might we see a plan for that, and how will it be presented to the public?
So I asked for an analysis of every possible constructible alignment down to Gardner from Mammoth. So we're going to look at a lot of factors in an analysis of alternatives, but I just was curious how many possibilities are there. And they came up with about 5 different places that a road could be reconstructed, including back through the canyon. What we're going to look at there is, before we even go out to the public with what we're going to do, is which of these alternatives is the least environmentally impacting, which is the least visually impacting, which is the fastest, most cost-effective, hopefully shortest, and most resilient to future events that might occur. And so we'll go through that criteria against all of those constructible alignments. And we've already weeded out a couple of them because there's just no way some of them would be feasible. And we'll look to go through a NEPA process, probably through an environmental impacts statement, and offer up 2 or 3 viable alternatives. And we'll do a lot of work analyzing all of the things I just talked about in regard to what the long-term permanent road alignment should be. And I would say that we've put $20 million into this old Gardner Road already, and there's no going back on that. And I think a fundamental question we need to ask is, do we really want to blow out another 2-lane in this park to Gardner right next to the 2-lane we just created? And so that's going to be one of the alternatives that we'll look at, is do we make continued improvements on the work that we've already done this summer moving forward? And a lot of work goes into the soil analysis, and the soils in this area are really bad, and we don't want to make sure that whatever alternative we pick can stand up to whatever comes at it in the future. But I think I'm not a huge fan of not taking advantage of existing infrastructure. So the roads that are still intact, the roads that we can connect, and when I talk about the shortest distance, I think having a new alignment that takes advantage of the work that's already being done or wasn't affected by the flood event, I think is a really smart thing. Now, I think as far as the River Canyon, we'll look at that. That's a really expensive option, and I'm confident that we could rebuild a structure through that canyon that could withstand another flood event. But for folks that have been on that road, there's some pretty big cliffs, and I'm not so sure that at some point, maybe not in our lifetime, maybe so, you don't have some substantial vulnerabilities from above. And so like the last thing we want to do is build a viaduct through the canyon and have it imploded from up top. And I think there's some real value to consider restoring that canyon to its natural state and removing the road out of there. But we'll look at all of that as we progress and see where we land.
I know in the past you talked about 3 to 5 years before we have a permanent road in here and to the east. An EIS alone, I know, can take a year or more sometimes. How's your timeline looking?
Well, first of all, I think it's important, like I said, on the Northeast Road, those are temporary, but they're not. And so, absent another similar flood event that came in, and I would suggest, some of the hydrologists agree with me, that Soda Butte, in that case in Northeast, took out some of the most vulnerable sections of road. And so the repairs that are being done right now are going to withstand any major flood event that comes in the future. Now, the question is what other sections of road are vulnerable? And I think that's the track that we'll look on. We already had a 30-mile plan to do some major improvements to that road corridor even before the flood event. So, we're looking at what we were thinking before the flood event. What can we take advantage of? There's already an environmental assessment process moving forward on that previous plan. And, looking at really some of the vulnerable areas in the corridor that we might want to focus on faster in case we do get another 500-year flood event in the next couple of years, so we don't have another situation like this. But in regard to this next upcoming several years, there's going to be continued work on that road, but generally speaking, it's going to be better and stronger than it was actually before in many ways.
Are there any plowing or maintenance concerns with the new sections of road, the new road here and the new sections out to the east?
Well, Northeast will be fine once it's paved. It's going to look like it did before, except it's going to have a much more substantial structure under it as far as riprap and things like that. So I see no real changes with Northeast. There may be a section at Lamar Canyon, depending on how far they get, as long as the weather holds, we'll fix it before the fall. That might have to be a one-way traffic lane for about 500 yards. And I think we're going to get that moved. It's a section that the Lamar River basically carved out right up against the road edge. And so we're moving the road over, and they've made some really good progress already. And if the weather holds, they'll be able to do that, get it two-laned and moved in. But that, as far as plowing goes, on that corridor, it's going to be absolutely fine. Yeah, we've never driven this road in the winter here. There's some steep grades. I think we've got a good plan coming together as far as how we're going to plow the Old Gardner Road. We've got some treatments that we'll be applying, especially on the steeper grades. And, we'll see how it goes through the winter.
I hear you're planning a grand opening ceremony?
Yeah, our target's October 15th. We set a very aggressive target. And I think people need to understand that this is not easy. And so as long as the guardrail gets in here, once again, it's like over 5,000 feet of guardrail. And there are sections on that road where if you go over, you're going to die. And so we want to make sure that it's as safe as possible. So we have a target for an opening to the public October 15th. We're going to monitor that. We've got 3.5 weeks until then. And we'll be inviting the community and other partners who've helped us through this to kind of commemorate a tough summer and a lot of hard work and getting this corridor reopened. And we'll do the same thing with Northeast.
You and your team have accomplished or are close to accomplishing an almost impossible task. How does that make you feel?
This team is second to none. I'm really glad this team was here when this happened. And I think if you look at June 13th and that morning, and you think of everything that's happened since June 13th, which was just over 3 months ago, 200,000 gallons of wastewater dumping in the Gardner River, power was out for 30, 40 hours, evacuating the park within 24 hours, doing all the damage assessments that were required, getting at least one-way traffic opened on this old Gardner Road within 2 weeks, getting the South Loop operational within 8 days, getting 94% of the park open within 20 days, getting the backcountry open for the most part, within a month, getting temporary wastewater systems in place, getting all of the temporary plans and work going on both corridors to get them reopened, working with communities to get as much access as possible in Gardner, in Cook City, and Silvergate, then working with Cook City, or West Yellowstone, Cody, Jackson for multiple different iterations of opening. I think that the team did a tremendous job, and they're tired. But we've got a lot of work still in front of us. But I can't think of a better team and partners to have gone through this with at this point. And so, I'm optimistic that the first time people drive on this road and that road, they're going to be happy, and they're going to see all the work that's been done in a very short amount of time. But we still got to get there. So a lot of work in front of us still.
Last thing, how's the work coming on the treatment plant?
We're building a temporary wastewater treatment plant for Mammoth. Now, for folks that don't know, the wastewater, we have about 7 wastewater systems in the park. We didn't have one here in Mammoth. We had a pipe that ran under the road to the system in Gardner, and that was severed in 4 or 5 places. And so we were fortunate that there was some 1964 or 1960s infrastructure still in place. We were able to divert the wastewater from going into the river into the 1960s infrastructure, and that worked fine for the summer. The problem is it doesn't work well when the temperatures drop below freezing on a regular basis. And so we've got a temporary plant being constructed. It's on schedule. It should be installed in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And that should allow us to open the hotel and prevent us from having to do anything, with residents and things like that here that live in Mammoth. So that's also, I think, on target, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's a big step too, because I know Rick told me they were thinking just, as recently as a month ago that the hotel wouldn't be opening until next summer season.
Yeah, and I think people, we set these targets really aggressively, for both road corridors, for the wastewater. There's not a playbook for this stuff, and it's not a perfectly planned, here's your exact target and timelines, and so, in a normal project, you've got usually years to do something like this. You've got usually years of planning and engineering that went into it, and we did that in weeks, and and like I said, we set very aggressive targets for a variety of different reasons. October 15th, last year I think it snowed in late October. Every year I've been here, it's my 5th October here. It snowed in October, especially at the end. And then a lot of times temperatures drop, that snow doesn't melt. And so, we felt that, it's good to have 40 degrees or higher to pave effectively. October 15th can be pushing that sometimes around here. And so I think we're on target. I do want the public to understand that this isn't an exact science, and there's a lot of adjustments that we've had to make to the road between here and Gardner to ensure that it's safe. And the last thing I want to do is to hurry it and lose a section of this road and have Gardner go through what they just went through next year. And so October 15th is basically 4 months from the flood event. I think that it's going to be in that range. If we think we're going to have to push it for one reason or another, no guardrail, weather, or whatever, I assure people that these roads will be open going into the winter. But we're going to hold with October 15th, see where we are. And I know a lot of folks want the exact date to be a hard date, and I feel good about the dates that we've set, but there's a lot of variables in play here. And if we get something wrong, I think people need to understand that we could be right back where we were last year if we don't do it right. So Fast is good in this situation, but it's also got to be quality. And I think everybody would agree with me that if we end up having to need an extra week or two to make sure that the engineering and the road is completely safe, that's a better way to go than opening too soon and having some failure. But engineers have done a great job on that road. The contractor's top notch. HK has done a really good job. And we'll continue working together to make sure that, and I've said this from the beginning, it's super, I mean, we did what we could to salvage this year. But if we get a lot of things wrong this year, we'll have problems next year. So we'll keep pushing through, and everybody needs to understand how hard everybody's working up here, and we appreciate all the great support from folks.